Hello, everyone. How are you? I'm Nancy Yawner with Love to List and Keller Williams Realty, coming to you live from the heart of my home, my kitchen. And I just thought it would be fun to have a little spring in our step today. Spring is around the corner, and I know in many areas of the country we have such warm weather and things are starting to pop and bloom, and so spring is upon us. So these happen to be my favorite flower, tulips. And I was wondering, what is your favorite flower? I'm kind of curious. So, oh, hey, Bobby, what is your favorite flower? I'm kind of curious, trying to spread some spring joy out there for everyone. And anyways, tulips have always been my favorite. Matter of fact, when we got married, I carried tulips down the aisle, and I carried white tulips. And I still have in a paper towel in a book somewhere there's like a few of those tulips left. And so anyways, I just thought it'd be fun. So tell me, you like sweet peas. That is so sweet. Anyways, there you go. So I hope everyone is doing well. Excuse me, I'm so thirsty. Last week I was sharing with you that it's National Nutrition Month. And so I have been, focused this last week to make some shifts and changes. Health and wellness has always been my focus. And it seems as though I have slipped a little bit, and rightly so, because we as a family have had such change and shifts. And so it happens sometimes when you can't necessarily have that same old routine that you used to have and regimen. So I have flipped the switch and really focused on getting back on track. So what does that mean for you? Are you on track, or do you need to get back on track? I don't know. But last week I shared my favorite way to have an egg, which was a poached egg. And it's really easy to make. And one of my cousins said to me, well, Nancy, I'm not really one for like a soft middle. So I this week have been making eggs different ways. Scrambled eggs. I made fried egg sandwiches for Jerry. I was trying to think what's a really healthy way to have an egg. So I Googled it, and they said baked eggs. So I'm going to share with you what I did for baked eggs. I'm also going to share with you an alternative way to have a Reuben, and this batch of granola that I made. And I think making granola was a lot of fun, and I'm going to share a little bit more information about that. But before I do, I hope everyone's doing well. In my newsletter that we send out every other month, it's more of a personal newsletter, and I share some books that I'm reading. And so I thought, well, I'd come on today and share with you 2 books that I'm reading that I am really enjoying. And one is by an author. I've read a lot of his books, Mark Batterson. He's actually a pastor in Washington, D.C. He has a very famous church facility. It's not really a church per se. Well, it is, but he actually took over an old movie theater, and that is the church. So it's really cool. But anyways, he's the lead pastor at the National Community Church down in DC. He also has a Dream Center. Yeah, he has a coffee house, Ebenezer Coffee House. And so he's traveled the world. He's pretty well known. And like I said, he's written many books that I've read. So this one is In a Pit with a Lion on a Snowy Day. And basically, the premise of it is instead of running away from things like a scaredy cat, be a lion and face your diversity or your challenges or your troubles, whatever is coming your way. It's like in a pit with a lion, right? On a snowy day. It's really helps you to have a different perspective. And then this sweet book really has surprised me, especially because I am really not one to read. I've always been one to read a lot of self-help books, right? And this is just such a sweet book. It is called Braiding Sweetgrass, and her name is Robin Wall Kimmerer, and it's Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teachings of Plants. She's a botanist. And anyways, her style is just endearing to read. And this is the type of book that you don't want to just read, for hours or something. Well, not for me, because you have to relish it. You have to really just enjoy the words and the nuances and her writing style. And she's all about nature. And sorry, I got a hair in my eye. Nature being a teacher, right? So it's just, I read a chapter, half a chapter to a chapter, and I'm just so, it's just so sweet. As you read it, you just get a different appreciation for nature. That is for sure. And life, and really. So those are two of my current reads I thought I'd share with you. So anyhow, trying to find healthier ways to make eggs. So what I did is I Googled it, and they said baked eggs. So just to give you an idea, if you have little ramekins, you could do ramekins. And most people have round tiffin muffin trays. I happen to have the square because I actually used this one time when I was making soap. And then I made these like healthy brownies with avocado one time or something like that. Anyway, so I don't have the round, but I'll show you. So all you do is you spray your pan, right, with a little bit of cooking spray, and you just plop the egg in. That's all you do. That's it. And you can put, a little salt and pepper on there if you want to. And you just put it in the oven for like 350 for like, I don't know, 6 minutes or something like that. You can Google it. But I also do that way. This is like my favorite thing in the whole wide world in the kitchen. One of my favorite. You take some parchment paper, and you can do it this way too. Whoops. And you just cut a little square. It's probably too big. And you put it in if you don't want to have to clean the pan, it's a little bit better if you wrinkle it. And then you stick it in there. And you stick it in here, and then just plop your egg in there. There. You just plop an egg in there. And then when you want to eat it, you just pull it out, and then you have no mess. And that's what I'm talking about. I love parchment paper. So this is what they look like. You can have them for grab and go, and they really do well. See, you can just grab it and go. You can heat it up. You can take it on the run. If you want to add, another one of my favorite things is the everything blend, everything but the bagel. That would be really good on here. And I made some really nice egg sandwiches for my husband with these. So they're really easy, healthier than a fried egg. So just wanted to share that good idea with you. Have you ever done it before? So let me know. And then speaking of parchment paper, I was going to tell you, the other thing I did this week was I made Reubens for my family and also my husband. And, so we had the Reuben thing all week, and I didn't want to eat Reubens all week. So I thought, you know, I'll continue to make another Reuben for Jerry, but I made a Reuben salad. And anyone that knows me knows that I always call them bunless salads. So, you know, if you want any type of sandwich, you can make it as a salad. You don't have to have the bread. So I just did lettuce and so a little hint of Thousand Island dressing, some sauerkraut, some corned beef, and that was better than having the fried and buttered bread sandwich, right? So there's just little tips and tweaks that you can make. And then I was going to share with you, I made this granola, and it's really easy. I'll put the recipe. This woman that I follow, actually, she's a design woman. I just love her. She's up in Canada, and she has this house that she's redoing. She calls it the Funky Bunky. Anyways, she's also has her own design dresses and jackets, and I just really love her. Her name's Sarah something, and I'm trying to remember what her last name is. But anyways, I'll get you that information. But this was her recipe, and I don't have a wooden bowl. She made hers in a wooden bowl, but I made a batch in this. And most of these ingredients I always have on hand. So, and you can, you know, half it, full it, you know, quarter it, whatever you want. But it's rolled oats that you use, and slivered almonds. You can do both kinds. I had this, you know, not as thick. Pumpkin seeds, flax seed, sunflower seeds, unsweetened coconut. All of this I have on hand, and then I have, it was so nice when we moved here, our neighbors, they make homemade honey, so some honey, maple syrup, cinnamon, salt, you can put in chia seeds, hemp seeds, you can put in raisins. I'm not really a raisin person, so anyways, you can kind of have fun with it, and I plan on making more and really trying to find the most healthiest version. Our maple syrup, I think it didn't rate well on my Yucca app, but that's all we had. So I want to get better maple syrup. Of course, the honey was great, and really play with different things that you could put in here. So this is what it looked like. So let me grab all these in here. So again, all you do is you take your parchment paper, you put all your dry ingredients together. Easy. It took me, you know, a couple minutes. Boom, boom, boom. The most I had of this was 4 cups, and then 1 cup of pretty much everything else, and then your liquids and your spices. But when you're doing parchment paper, you always want to crinkle it. It's much easier to work with, to mold into your pan if it's wrinkled, rather than taking a flat sheet. So you just lay your parchment paper down like that, and then you take all the dry ingredients, put them in the bowl, take your wet ingredients, throw it on, stir it all up, and then you bake it in the oven, or then you put it all out on your parchment paper, and you bake it in the oven at 275 for 30 minutes. Then you give it a toss, and then it's another 30 minutes until it's a nice golden brown. And I brought some over to my mom and sister, and they said it was really good. So you can have it with yogurt. You can have it as cereal. Some of it has a few little clumps. You can eat it as a snack. You know, it's not a low calorie meal, but you're getting a lot of good things, and it's better than a potato chips or, you know, candy, right? So this is healthier version. And so anyways, it's very tasty. I have to say it's very tasty. And one of the main reasons why I wanted to make it is because I've really gotten on a kick where I want to bring more homemade things when I go and visit people, and I want to bring a little hostess gift. So it's nice to have this on hand. It stays for a while. You put in a nice little glass jar, and you have an instant gift. So, so good. It's a little more satiating too. You don't need a lot. You know, you can have a fourth to half a cup. You're good. So that's a little bit of continuing the conversation. I hope you guys, wherever you are, it's starting to feel like spring, and that you're doing well. And a couple of things. I am going to be, I had mentioned it earlier in the month, I am going to be doing my Postscript Saturday this Saturday. I have some interesting news about some shifts in the industry, something big that's happened for people who are buying cash and in an entity. There's a new law. And then I have a couple other topics that I'm going to share with throughout the next month or two, just some updates on what's going on in the real estate industry, which is different than my fun from the heart of the home, where I share a little real estate, little health and home with you. So that's it. I hope you all are doing well. Thanks for popping by. Oh, hey, Carrie, how are you doing? Oh yeah, dried fruit. That's a good idea. I'm not a raisin person, but I think I would like cranberries over raisins. But dried fruit is really good. I think you could probably put a little, I don't think you could do chocolate chip because you wouldn't put it in the oven. But anyways, I will post the rest of recipe. I hope you all are doing well. And in the meantime, thumbs up, lots of love, and keep smiling, okay? All right. Take care, everyone.